They actually were divided up by alphabet, and were just in love with their part of the alphabet. All hell broke loose when I said, this needs to be the same job, we're just wasting a lot of time here. The only way I could get them to agree to trying the other half of the job with their alphabet partner was to promise them that they could co-mentor each other. Well, I respect this person, I've heard her or him work before, all right, I'll give it a try. Even though that's not what you hired me for. Before you knew it, they were off and running. They did a fabulous job of helping each other, supporting each other, getting each other through the willies about this new work. Turnover started happening. It was a department that grew seasonally, and I was used to people just staying right there during the season. Nope, they were going off and being team leaders in other departments, being trainers in other departments, being computer technicians in other departments. They just knew so much more stuff. It was not awful, though, because there was new, fresh blood, if you will, coming into the department seasonally, lots of excitement, lots of opportunity for growth. That department became known as the go-to place if you want to develop further within the company. It was wonderful. So it worked. So it's a happy turnover story. So it spread nationally. Before we knew it, managers are saying, because they're seeing their senior people come back with these great new leadership skills, essentially, well, hey, what about us? We would like this training too. Management program was born. Next thing you knew, the company was in a growth mode at that point. Mentoring became the prerequisite for a track to becoming leadership, to becoming a supervisor or a manager.
My struggle with when I'm trying to hook up somebody with a mentor is they fixate on their own weaknesses and what they want to fix about themselves.
Right.
So they want a mentor who's going to help them fix what's broken about themselves.
Yeah, that can happen too. But yeah, that's a really good point, that people tend to come at mentoring or just learning from a sort of a broken point of view. Here you're taking someone who's essentially strong, they're talented, they want to develop, and you're using those strengths to help them further that development, and focusing on that, as opposed to saying, you are just the worst one in the whole organization in this particular area, you better get some help.
But I think it's a lot more subtle than that.
Hopefully.
I don't know. It's just hard sometimes to get people over the hurdle of
This
is not about, you'll be really successful if you can only do something about that X.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to get people off that.
Yeah, that means I have a problem. It means that you are so good that we want you to get to this point, and here's how we're going to use your strengths to get you there, and in the meanwhile, you'll learn this thing, this body of things that you need to learn. Like my friend at the bank, he knew he didn't know about this area of banking, didn't know about that area of banking. He got help to develop those areas.
So do you think it's more helpful to focus people on expertise rather than fixing some personality flaw that they perceive that they have?
Yes. Yeah.
That's,
might take some fast talking,
yeah.
but it's why you're offering them the mentoring. It's not because you're flawed. It's because I see you as having this level of capability. Mm-hmm. Great question. Yeah.
From the management.
Yeah.
The manager. The mentoring is something outside.
Yeah. And coaching often has that, you're in trouble connotation, which is why I don't use that word. Sometimes mentoring is introduced in those situations if somebody is coming up from a real deficit place in their performance up to meeting expectations. Probably the focus is going to be more on coaching, and there might be some mentoring that's tangential to that process that helps, but to make mentoring the you're in trouble tool, just it ruins it for the people that you're talking about, who may have one area of development that they need to get good at in order to really succeed. And the culmination of this definition of roles, where will the learning happen, what's the timeline going to be, is in the form of a contract. So that was a great question, Sally. Contract can be as simple or as complex as you need it to be in order for the process to be concrete for both of the people involved. Such spirited conversations. You're really fun to watch. And as trainers, you're really good at stopping talking when you're asked to. Most groups aren't that good. I hope the fact that I never let you finish a conversation gives you energy to continue the conversations, either with your table buddy or when you're back on the job. Maybe that'll be an impetus for you to actually implement these plans. Libby?
Susan, what do you think about a direct supervisor being a mentor of one of their direct reports? Is that possible? Pros and cons?
Okay. Question is, what about a direct supervisor being a mentor? Sure. In fact, in my book, that's part of a supervisor's job. But if you're thinking that a supervisor is going to work with a particular person to develop them in a particular way, it needs to be well defined, so it looks like that supervisor is not playing favorites with this person. If there's a difference between my role as a supervisor and my role as a mentor, let that be part of the contract. You know, how does my mentoring you play into performance management?
Right.
You know, is there a line in between? Is there a divide? If they can work that out, great. If not, maybe the supervisor should find somebody else who can help that person. But it's not uncommon for supervisors to be in that mentor role. The fairness piece is really key. You don't want people to feel favorite person there. Everyone should understand why that special role is there. Thanks.